Back. I'm wearing my high school senior shirt from Arabian Mountain High School today, and it just brought back so many memories. So this is my class of 2014 shirt. It has my name on the back, Court Court, and it just had me thinking. Like when I put on this shirt, like of course I didn't really put too much thought into it. It's Sunday, and I was just like, okay, let me throw something on to wear to go to the cafeteria really fast for breakfast. But I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, like where was I at this time last year? And honestly, I was panicking about school. So this inspired me to create a video about how to choose a school, how to get ready, what you should consider, everything. So the first thing, if you're still a high school senior, I know everybody gets senior ides, but it is important to keep your grades up. Like go strong the whole way. Especially like if you already got accepted, it's easy to just slack off and say, hey, I already got accepted, but the college you already got accepted to, they can easily snatch that scholarship away. Um, and they're still keeping track. Like you still have to submit a transcript at the end of your senior year with your final grades. So don't give up. And number two, if you are applying to schools and you see that your SAT scores are very low or you're scared that you won't get accepted, you have time. It's January. You still have time to go and apply and not apply, but take the SAT over. Go to SAT prep. Do whatever you can because you don't want to look back and regret it. Um, Number three, you wanna apply to more than one school. Like you just don't want to have one school or not one school. Well, yeah, you just don't want to apply to one school. You want to keep your options open, and you want to have a lot of options. So you want to apply to a school where you know you can get into. So that's going to be your backup plan. If you don't get into any school, at least you applied and you got accepted to one school. So you want to do that. You want to apply to a school where you know you can get accepted, and that might be a community college. In Georgia, we have Georgia Perimeter College, we have Gwinnett Tech, we have DeVry, we have, there's just a lot of options here. ICDC, and then you want to apply to a regular college. That might be your state college, like in Georgia, Georgia State, Florida, Florida State. Just your normal college that basically everybody goes to, Georgia Southern, West Georgia, all of those. So those are like your standard, well-known colleges. And then you want to shoot for the stars. So, and that's when you apply for a college that, you might not get into, but you might like, but it's taking a chance, but it doesn't hurt to apply, and you would be happy if you got accepted, but if you didn't, it's kind of like, well, I got other stuff to fall back on. I have my regular school, my community school to fall back on, and those would be schools like Harvard, out of state schools like Auburn, in-state well-known schools like UGA, schools like that. I actually did that. I applied to Auburn. I didn't get accepted there. I was sad, but I had schools in state that I got accepted to, and then my brother was like, okay, you wanted to go to Auburn and apply to one of their rivals, University of Alabama. And I was like, man, I'm not going to get accepted. He said, do it, Court. And I did it, and I got accepted. So I was happy I did it, even though, so that was my over the top school. And then my community schools were like Georgia Perimeter, DeVry, and I did apply there. And then my regular schools were like Clark Atlanta, Georgia Southern, West Georgia, and stuff like that. So the fourth thing I want you guys to consider when you're choosing a school is the cost. If you already got accepted, you want to see what scholarships you can get and which school is offering you the most scholarships, which school can offer you scholarships in the future, and then along with scholarships, it's out of state fees. So if you are, or not just out of state fees, just fees in general. So what fees is this school asking you for, and what fees is this one? And if you're going out of state, that's like 40,000 extra dollars, or it might be an extra 5,000. It just depends where you're going. So that's just another thing. And then when you're applying to these schools, you have to think about like what school fits your personality. Like, do you want to go to a community school where you may not get that like typical college experience? In a community school is not bad. Like you get done faster. Well, not necessarily faster, but your core classes will be done by the time, like, because most people, they party around and they don't get they have to end up retaking their core classes because they're partying. And then a community college is just you're straight going there, you're doing it, you don't have to live on campus. And some community schools do have dorms, but another aspect for a community college is that it's cheaper. It's cheaper. It's way, and a lot of people, they do get accepted to these other colleges, like the 4 years and stuff. But just because of economic and financial reasons, they don't go. Like they start off their 2 years there, and then they transfer into a 4 year or a big name school, and that's good too. And people, it doesn't matter like where you start off; it's where you graduate. Like that's what people look at. They're not gonna look at your resume and be like, oh, I see you spent 2 years at Georgia Perimeter. Okay, and you went to Georgia State. How was your perimeter experience? Like nobody cares about that. Like it's all about where you finish and the name that's on the degree at the end of the day. So that's cool. And then you can always transfer into that. So, but your 4 year school, that's good too. And those are your smaller schools like um, I mean, mostly all schools and colleges and universities are 4 year, but I'm talking about the smaller ones like Savannah State, Stillman College, just the smaller ones. Um, I wrote these down, so sorry, you guys. I'm looking at a little note card that I wrote down. But with the 4 year schools, they may not have your major, so you might have to end up transferring to, and that'll kind of be a waste. So you might as well have went to community school, if they don't have your major. So you want to make sure that when you're applying at schools that they have your major. Like you don't want to get there and just say, okay, I'm going to spend 2 years here, then I'm going to transfer. Like that's a waste of money, and that's a waste of time. And then you can get to know people, then you have to break up that relationship with your friends because you have to move because you don't. It's just unnecessary. So, yeah. And then with a smaller college, like you might have a smaller student to teacher ratio, and some people like that hands on. The teacher is able to work with you. You know the teachers know you. You know the people in the cafeteria. It's better and it's just easier to meet people. And then you have your big schools like UGA and in Auburn and Florida, whatever, university, just the big schools. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Sorry, y'all. This whole YouTube thing is new to me. But the things you had to look forward to there is parties, more involvement, recognition. Like I said, like I said, people aren't going to look at where you graduate. I mean, people are going to look at where you graduate. So it's more well known. Even if you go to um, an interview in California, they're gonna know, hey, you went to you went to University of Alabama. Okay, wow, I know that school. How you like it? Like it's a conversation starter. It's it's just a well recognized school, and like my school, I go to Georgia Gwinnett College. If I went to California and somebody say, oh, you went to Georgia Gwinnett, where is that? Like so, it just some schools just get recognition and then some smaller schools don't. So that's just something you have to look forward to. And then with larger schools, they have more opportunities. They have job fairs. They have people coming on campus wanting to give interns specifically to that school. And that's good too. And then the fifth thing that I want you guys, that's 10, but the fifth thing that I want you guys to consider when you're choosing schools is not to go, I mean, you guys are all applying for school at the same time. You don't want to just go where your friend is going. Like don't be sad if you don't get accepted to where your friend is going, because at the end of the day, like when you start college, it's so easy to like make new friends. And I mean, it's cool. Like luckily I go to school with Chelsea, and that was a blessing that I get to go with one of my best friends. But it's okay if like if they get accepted to a school and you don't get accepted. Like don't let that break you down. There are so many schools out there, and like I said, guys, like I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. So it might just be a new opportunity to start fresh, and then after a while, like even if you guys did go to school together, like you guys might change, and they might have their set of friends and you might have your set of friends. So don't get sad if you and your friend don't get accepted to the same school. Like it's fine. It is sad because you guys might have spent your whole 4 years of high school together, but it's okay. And then the sixth thing that I want you guys to consider is distance from home. So some of you guys might be used to being under your parents, and that's fine. So you might want to be maybe like an hour away, an hour 45 minutes away. And then some of you guys are just like, ugh, the opposite. Like, I've been under my parents for so long, I'm ready to go to the moon. Like, so you guys might be the ones that want to go 5 states, 10 states, just on the other side of the country from here, and even out of, I mean, not out of the state, but out of the country, and that's fine, and that's a great opportunity. It teaches you how to mature faster. It teaches you how to be independent, just everything. It's so much that it has to offer. But then being close to home, if you don't have a car, being close to home might be a good option because you don't want to depend on people at school all the time. And sometimes you have to, but most of the time, like if you're used to being independent, you don't. Well, I'm contradicting myself. But if you're close to home, like an hour away, your parents won't mind coming up there, bringing you stuff you need, maybe like once a month or every 2 months. But if you're 5 states away, trust me, they're gonna be mailing it to you. They're not gonna be driving it to you. They're gonna be like, forget that. And being closer to home, you can get your books mailed to your house. It's just so many benefits. Being close to home and away from home. So just look at all these options. I gave you like what, 6 options. Just look at it and see what fits your personality, like what you would like more, what you wouldn't like. And at the end of the day, this is your decision. Oh, and the 7th thing, and it should have really been the first thing, is ask yourself, like, why do you want to go to college? Is it for you? Is it to make your parents happy? Because I know a lot of parents are like, when you hit 18, when you graduate high school, you're getting out my house. And some of you guys think like, oh, okay, college is the only option for me to get out the house. It's not. Like, there is the military, there's beauty school, there's so many options. And I know you guys are thinking like, wow, I may not have money to go to beauty school, but some beauty schools have dorms. Like, there is always an option, and if there isn't, like, make a way. And I know it sounds easy, like, Courtney, okay, how am I gonna make a way? But trust me, there are millions of people that pave their own way to success, and you can do it too. Like, college is not for everybody. Okay, sorry, they've been making so much noise on top of. Oh, and decide, do you want to stay in the dorm? Yeah, I like the dorms, but just decide, like, do you want to stay in the dorms? I know I keep like thinking of so much stuff, but the dorms is where you meet a lot of people, probably most of your friends on campus, even though there are commuters. But anyways, like I said, like, college may not be for everybody. There's always the army. You could take a year off, decide what you want to do if you just want to work. There's the job corps. There's working for the Salvation Army. There is a way, like, because college is expensive and you don't want to get into anything that you're not sure about or you have doubts about. And it's okay, like, I have my doubts. So like I said, I don't know if I posted the video, but I definitely did make a video just saying that I feel like so many people, so many famous people are successful, and just people in our community are successful without going to college, and I feel like I can make it the same way. But I wanted to give college a try because, like I said in the past, like, I just wanted to do hair, and I knew I wanted to own a business. And I don't feel like you necessarily have to go to college to own a business. There's 2-year-olds out there making businesses. Like, I don't know if you guys watch the Ellen show, but there's people on there like that all the time, like little kids that can make businesses. It's all about, I mean, for me, like, I guess I just came to college for the experience. Like, my mom, she wasn't forcing me to go to college. My other brothers did go to college, and that did kind of inspire me. I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. But just think about, do you want to go to college and why you want to go to college? And it's good, like, if you have this stuff in writing, like, um, um, what are my SAT scores? I write that down on a paper. What community colleges have I applied to? What regular colleges have I applied to? What over the top colleges have I applied to? Um, and then with those colleges, I would just set up another column next to that, and considering the scholarships and the fees that they offer and what has been offered to me. And then I would just, on another sheet of paper, I would write out my own factors of what community college can do for me, my own factors of what four-year colleges can do for me, and I mean, not four-year, but the regular college. So that's like the colleges that everybody knows, and then what factors the large colleges can do for me. And I want you guys to make up your own, because what a community four-year and well, regular and large college can do for me, it may not be able to do for you. So I want you guys to consider that on your own. And then I want you don't have to write down the friends aspect, but just think about that. Like when you're getting discouraged and you see all your other friends getting accepted, like don't worry about that. What God has for you is for you, and what God has for them is for them. And then I want you guys to write down the distance that all these colleges are away from your home. So I want you guys to do that and let me know how it works. You guys can leave the comments below, or you guys can DM me on Instagram, leave comments on Instagram _ meet me at the court. And if you guys have any questions, leave a comment below. All right, bye guys.